you should be able to see my supplies here on my desk. Gotta say okay to the recording. So if you were able to register early and on time, then you were able to get some of these supplies. The first one is a sketchbook. Turn it either way and use it either way. There were a package of colored pencils, which at this moment I'm just gonna open up. Love it when they're pre-sharpened. Some do come not sharpened. So all different colors here that you get to use, which is cool. And we also got some pencils. They have nice erasers on them. Sometimes we need something that's not colored. And then I just threw in, oh, it's the wrong side, my eraser that I use just in case we needed it today. So when you first think about, okay, I'm going to tell a story, or I want to share something about myself, like, what do I want to share? You need to ask yourself, like, what do I want to share? How do I want to share it once I figured that out? It could be a video, it could be a photograph, it could be an animation, it could be a photograph with a voiceover. It will be, it can be art or abstract. So I also want to take a moment to remind everyone, or to let everyone know, that if you do turn your video on during this portion while we're recorded, it's only going to record me. It's only recording me. They take out everyone else's screen. So they won't even see, if you're not showing your video, they won't even see like your names. None of that will be showing, okay? So I just want to let everyone know. Just a reminder. So for us today, digital is actually part of, one of the mediums, and it's through those electronics and technology that we talked about. And how you can publish it is different. So if I were to write my story down, if I were to take, open the book and start writing my story down, I could write a book and it could be published as a book, right? I could share my, any kind of art creation, whether it is like a concrete abstract that goes in the garden or something else. Like I could share that in many different ways. Another example is like putting a painting in a gallery. Like there's different ways that we can share our art. So now that you have your sketchbook, I always open it up and I always save the first page for like almost like a title page, but it's not really a title page. It's just like my introductory. It's just whatever I feel like doing. And you can always come back to it. So we're just going to leave this so that we can come back to it. And then here on my page already, I started with a circle while I was waiting for everybody to show up today. And because what I want to think about too is, what do I want to share? I think that what I want to share today is like, how have I been dealing with, COVID and isolation? And what are some of the things that helps me to take care of myself and to enjoy life? And then what are some of those things that I've participated in, some journeys and adventures that I've had that, are kind of different than before because we've had to do them a little differently, and how they made me feel. So I thought I'd draw a circle and I put, I don't like block it out or anything. I just put in there the things that I have enjoyed in the answers to those questions. So what do you guys have an idea of something that you would like to share? And if you do, you could go ahead and put that in the chat. The chat won't be shared. Either myself or one of the NCUE staff will share that for you. So what I usually do, so I said I was going to share, this is about myself. So often what I'll do, and maybe red is not the color, because often I draw myself, it's like with my dancing skirt. And so we often don't wear black. Sometimes we wear red with, as long as it has pattern, right? And so I want to make sure I respect those as well. My hair is like brown black, so we're gonna have some. This looks like it's a blue though, so today I'm gonna have blue hair, but that's okay. That's all right. So I want to share a story about myself, and it's through this pandemic, like I've had to go to many doctor's appointments, and not because of any illness that had anything to do with COVID, but just because I had an illness that was diagnosed right before COVID started. So I've had to deal with that. And so I've had to go to lots of doctor's appointments. And not being able to like be around my family has been, was difficult during that time. So I want to write down, I want to show in drawing format, like what I was able to do. So I'm just going to do a little bit here, and then we're going to continue. And then if anyone sees, Divya, Mark, or Tiffany, if you see anything in chat that you want to go ahead and share, you could do that.
Nothing in the chat yet.
I remember. Is there anything in the chat?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I see the little number popping up. But this is the recordings. I want to keep going. So I know that going to see the redwoods, like there are some across the street from my house, but going and actually being in nature, taking my shoes off and walking around on the floor of underneath the redwoods, it's like really important for me for healing. And it's something that you can do without a lot of other people around. So you can do it when we're in social distancing, as they call it. And so making sure that I have time with nature was really important. It's really important for me. Let's see. Going to the ocean is really important. So some water in there. Another thing you can do, and I don't have today, is you can take a pencil sharpener and you can kind of use the pencil shavings. You can use the pencil shavings. You can shave this, so this is blue, and I could just sharpen this pencil, and have the paper shavings all over my paper. And where I just wanted to do the blue ocean water, I could rub the shavings there, and it would make it nice, and you wouldn't see lines because there's no lines. So that's just a different art technique that you guys could use if you have a pencil sharpener. I always like to do that in a background. So we like do that on the whole piece of paper, and then we would start our art. I did a lot of Zooms. I must say, I had what we called auntie time, because although I know that I am getting up in age, I still have my aunties. And so I did a lot of Zooms where we would just chat, we would draw, we would sew. Probably I shouldn't give any of my aunties blue hair. They probably wouldn't like it, but I did. And we would do different things. So I could put some people, and I would make it colorful. Not everyone has blue and green hair, but this is my art, and I can represent it different ways, right? We'll make someone have yellow hair. Maybe my mom. My mom have yellow hair. Okay. I used green already. Sometimes you want to balance out the colors as well. And so that's why it's good to have just a regular pencil, because you could just do a lot of the drawing with a regular pencil. I did a lot of beading. So I'm just going to put we use a lot of abalone here. And I'm just putting these lines in to like represent like the different colors of the abalone. Then you could color them in. I won't get to finish them all here for you, but you could color the different parts in, kind of showing the different range of color of the abalone. It's kind of bright, but you get the just, I think like a purple would be, this might be purple. Yeah. And then, oh, look, I could add. Find a bead there, find that bead in there in the middle. So kind of represent jewelry and how that helped me to feel better and to start my healing process. And we would just continue this, spending time with those family members that I was allowed to be around during that time gave me a lot of reserves to sustain the time period. And then now, now you're able, we're able in some places to go out and do different things. Maybe you can go out and play music. Music is really important in my life. So you could play music. Put some notes there, didn't do them very good. That's okay. Everyone's art is, I just find everyone's art to be beautiful. And so this would just be a little story. I could actually decide to write some words. And I could do that in many different ways. Like going back and thinking now, this line that I have as my circle could actually have been, instead of a straight line, could have actually been the way I told my story. I could have written the words all the way around here and created that border, which I think is, if I were going to go back and do it, that's probably exactly what I would do. I think that is a great idea. Although I couldn't have smoke and light medicine, I always made sure that I had abalone and pepperwood. I had some eucalyptus, some angelica root, some different things that I use here. So this will just represent my abalone shell for today. So when you're telling your story, you could use this drawing and go, okay, I will have digital software. So I'm going to go draw it on my computer and I'm going to make, maybe my hair flow or the waves in the sea, like make them move a little bit. So that's kind of, you brought in animation. It's really cool. You could also just finish a drawing like this and use that to share your story. And then you can also maybe even use that and you could write, and during this time, my family was very important to my healing. And so I could write that everywhere. And then if you were to use, different types of platforms that we talked about, which ones did we talk about? I suppose if you did TikTok and you shared this, you could put some animated words up. And then of course, in all social media platforms, like you could do hashtags, anywhere. And you could hashtag, my journey, Indigenous artist. Whatever, family, love, whatever you would like. And so then you could take that and you could share that in many different ways. And that's what we were talking about, that how, deciding like, how do you want to share it is really important. And so that will be the end of the recording for our demonstration.